is very, very low. The other thing is, as I said, we need to go back to community policing, working very closely with neighborhoods, being able to find out what's going on in the neighborhoods by talking to the folks and having a relationship with the folks who live in those neighborhoods to then begin to do the kind of policing that's effective and has long-term reach. We need better equipment, better training of police officers on equipment, and to get the best possible resources available to be able to do their jobs well. Now, if we don't get the money, then we're going to have to really knuckle down and try to build morale without the benefit of any additional revenue. I think the other thing that needs to happen is we've got to overhaul the city budget to see where there's some potential fat in the budget. Folks say that it's bare to the bone, but I don't believe that. I think that there is money, especially if we're not using those federal grants properly. Start using them properly so we can free up more money in the general fund, and then apply that surplus to the police department. Yes.
Yes, in terms of economic development, I want to know what your priorities are and what you think you'll be able to accomplish in 2 years and by the end of the term.
Okay. Well, that's a good question, and my strength is in economic development. We got to start dealing with the retention of our existing businesses first. We've got to make people feel welcome, that their business is wanted in the city, and that we enjoy having them. The other thing is we got to make the city more business friendly. Permitting and getting a permit approved through the city and getting something inspected is pretty tough sometimes. And not to say that the folks are not professional who are down there, but I think that we get caught up on the bureaucracy and as opposed to making something happen, and we get caught up on fees as opposed to generating property taxes. You know, it doesn't make sense if I'm willing to open up an apartment complex, that you give me the blues on permitting and inspection and drag your feet on getting that stuff in line and done. It's costing me money as a developer, and yet a lot of folks get caught up on you're paying the fees that you have to pay to get something inspected or get a permit, as opposed to what the benefit is going to be once that project goes into the ground in terms of the ad valorem revenue that comes back to the city. So we've got a disconnect there. But I believe that the city of Jackson has a tremendous opportunity in healthcare, because we've got all these wonderful hospitals here. We need to do a development plan and then work that plan to create more businesses around our healthcare professions, more businesses that are around government and education, and making sure that we retain those businesses in Jackson and not see them move out to the outlying areas. We've got to do a better job with our brothers and sisters in the outlying areas where they don't lure our businesses out of Jackson for the benefit of the outlying areas, where you're not creating any additional wealth in the region. You're just moving the pieces around. But Jackson has another great opportunity, and that's with green technology. And given President Obama's focus on green technology, that's a good thing for us to focus on in terms of creating manufacturing facilities on weatherization, solar panels and that sort of thing, and also training people in the installation of those. The other thing that we have a tremendous opportunity on, and this speaks to youth, many of whom may have been lost and may have fallen through the cracks. We've got to do a better job of training our youth. Some young men and young women are not college bound. No amount of training or drilling that into their heads is going to make a hill of beans. Some would do better in skill crafts, and in that way they can make a very decent living. I tell my wife all the time, when he leaves my house, I'm coming back as a plumber. You know? And we have, in the construction trade, there's a dearth of available talent out there. We don't have enough folks who are plumbers, electricians, brick masons, carpenters anymore. And yet, you look at the education system, not just JPS, but all over the state. folks are trying to put you on this college path all the time. And we've eliminated shop and industrial arts as an active part of the curriculum. It's been put on the sidelines way too much. We need to figure out how we can get that back in. But green technology is a great thing for us to look at in the city of Jackson. There's opportunity there. I believe